Howdo all, and welcome back to Immersion Gaming, and to the 10th game in the Telltale Games Marathon. So we've only one game left after this, and then that's it for the Telltale Games Marathon. I was saying in yesterday's episode of Batman how I can't believe that we've already played just about all of the Telltale games. There's 11 games in all, but you got to remember each one of them games has 4 to 8 episodes, usually about 5 episodes, but a couple of them had 4 and one of them had 8 episodes. So yeah, they've all, so 11 games, but with at least 4 episodes within them. That's quite a lot, and obviously we're doing it like 1 episode a day, so really that's a lot of episodes. We've been playing it for a good few months now, haven't we? Well, we've been doing the Telltale's Marathon for a good few months, so yeah. I'll be sad to see it go, to be honest, because I do really like the Telltale games. That's why I wanted to do this Telltale Games Marathon. You see, a lot of these games aren't new. I think the newest one, which we'll be playing after this one, which is The Expanse, that came out, I think it were earlier this year, just a few months ago. But before that, the newest one was this one, obviously. But I think this is a couple of year old now, maybe 3 year old or something. And before that, they're all like from, I think the Batman one we just played were 2017, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they're all quite old, which again is one of the reasons why they're not as popular, why they don't gain as many views, because they're not that relevant today. And that's another reason why I wanted to play them, because not many people are playing it now. You know, I wanted to put some of the old classics, the good ones, the really good games with the awesome stories, because a lot of the games that have the best stories are the older games. I've noticed with a lot of the newer games, they're rushed out. You know, it's all about money now. They're not really bothered about it being a gripping story that keeps you wanting to play more and more, you know, like a really good book or a right good film. They don't seem to be as bothered about that anymore. They're just more about, does it bring in the books, does it bring the books, which I can understand from a business perspective, but your game's also got to be worth its money, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's why a lot of the reasons why I like to play some of the old ones and get them on the channel, because I aren't focused just on getting the most views or the most subs or whatever. I want things on this channel that have really good stories. That's the whole purpose of immersion gaming. It's games that immerse you, hence the name, you know what I mean? So games like this for me that are just like interactive movies really immerse me. I mean, if you've watched any of my games that I've put on, especially like this latest Batman one, where the characters really enrage me, you know, I'm freaking getting mad as I'm playing it, like proper raging. And I know I've got an anger problem anyway, but for a character to be able to do that to you, it tells you, you know, how well written they are, for them to be even believable enough to be able to bring out certain emotions in you, you know what I mean? That's the sign of a really well written character, because it makes that character believable, it brings them to life. So yeah, like I was saying, like in the last Batman, that Weller, or whatever the name of the head of the agency, wow, she got me so mad, it were unreal. I was sweating, I was getting that friggin' mad over her, because she signifies everything I hate in a person. You know, this belief that because you've got a title or because you play a certain role within society, that you're above everybody else, and whatever you say, everybody else has to follow and do because you've been given a title. You know, like it's some God-given title or something. It really fucks me off, honest to God. And it's just a prime example of that. I mean, if you've watched the game, you'll see what I mean, you know what I mean? She just thinks that everybody has to do what she says, and all her wrongs don't mean anything because they're her wrongs. So it's sort of like brushed off. Oh, well, so that didn't really matter because of this. You know, and just like focusing on everybody else's fucking wrongs instead of hers. Which, it turns out, her wrongs was the centre of the whole fucking game. On it, do you know what I mean? Her wrongs is what created that frigging virus and what the supervillains were all trying to get. But that wrong didn't matter. Fucking idiot, man. So yeah, that's people like that get me really mad. And like I said, a well-written character like that is what will bring out those emotions in you because it's so believable. They're so well written. And that's with all of the Telltale games. Obviously they got better as they went along, but even the early Telltale games, they were really good at what they did back then. Yeah, and that's what sort of got me drawn to them games, because I were immersed as soon as I started playing them. And I think it added to it when they like teamed up with, say, Warner Brothers or Universal or Marvel or whatever. They've teamed up with all of them different companies depending on what they've done. You know what I mean? So like the Back to the Future and all the different films, they've actually teamed up with the actual people that made them, which just helped, I think, in making it believable. So if you're a fan of the actual films, it made it all the more believable because they were working with the actual people that made the original film. That's just my opinion, but that's why I think another reason why they were so good. They just did it all right, basically. And like I said, though, that goes back to a time where games were actually made to be good, actually made to have a gripping story, whereas a lot of the games these days, I mean, they don't make that many games anymore really that are so story focused like that. A lot of the games these days is stuff like Fahrenheit and stuff like that, where you're just running around getting as many kills as you can. And don't get me wrong, them sort of games are okay, you know, if you're in that mood and you want it to run around and just blow off some steam or something, you know, and just see how many people you can kill or whatever. But me personally, when I play a game, I like a gripping story, because to me, playing a game is the same as when someone sits down with a good book and gets immersed in the book. You know what I mean? To me, the games are my books. So that's why I like a gripping story. I like something that I can just sit down, forget all my worries, and become the character within that game and just get immersed in that world, you know, just like a good book. So yeah, that's why I'm not so big on games like the old Fahrenheit and stuff like that. And that's why I created this channel about story-focused games. So yeah, like I was saying anyway, what got me on that frigging rant, the reason why I'm playing these older games is to get them on the channel. I know they don't generate as many views because they're not relevant, they're not in the limelight, so they're not being searched for within YouTube or within Facebook because they're old. No one's searching for them games anymore, so that means it doesn't generate as many views. But I'm not bothered, I'm not just doing this for views. I'm doing it because I want all the games that I grew up playing and the games that I really love and think that need to be shown to people, or people who won't have seen them otherwise. That's why I'm doing it. So eventually I will start playing some of the more newer relevant games once I've got all the games I want to put on the channel. You know, I'll start playing the newer relevant games then, and that'll just bring in more views anyway because they're relevant. So yeah, so like I was saying anyway, sorry, I just got sidetracked there with the big explanation. So this game that we're going to be playing next, like I said, is the 10th game in the Telltale's Games marathon we're doing. There's only 11, so after that is the Expanse then, and that's it, we're done. I'll still be playing games, but just not the Telltale Games marathon anymore. So we finished Batman yesterday. I played the 5th episode of season 2 yesterday, and I've got to say that game is now my favourite game in all the Telltale games. It used to be Walking Dead. That were always my favourite game, but now that I've played season 2 of Batman, that's my favourite now. It's just absolutely awesome, really, really is. The only thing that let it down for me was the ending, where Alfred left. You get a choice at end, I don't know if you've watched it or not, but you get a choice at end where, if you don't want a spoiler, then don't listen to this bit that I'm going to tell you now, if you haven't watched it and you don't want to know. But basically, at the end, you get a choice between giving up being Batman and Alfred will stay as your butler and doing what he does, or you carry on being Batman and Alfred leaves. And I just didn't like that you had to make that choice at the end, because that's never been the case in any of the Batman films. Alfred is not only his butler and his sidekick, the one that does all his patching him up and sending stuff out to him that he needs and sending him the information that he needs over communications and stuff like that. But Alfred was his father figure. He brought him up after his parents were assassinated, you know what I mean? So for him to then just say, oh, I don't like what you're doing being Batman, it's either me or Batman, I just think that would have never happened. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't have happened, and I think it's a shit ending to the game to do that. Because Batman without Alfred just doesn't seem right at all, and I mean, I know Telltale have done their own thing throughout the whole Batman games. They've twisted and turned so many different things within the world of Batman that wouldn't have happened in any of the films or stuff. But a lot of them have been for the better, you know, like the whole thing with Joker, where you can make him a villain or a vigilante and stuff like that. Obviously, Joker's never been a vigilante. He never would be a vigilante. You know, he's not a good guy. But it was just nice to have that option to make him a vigilante and see what that storyline would be like. So they've done loads of different twists and turns, and I've enjoyed the ones that they've done. But that one at the end, where they made Alfred, they made her to choose between Alfred going and keeping Batman, or saying bye to Batman and Alfred staying. I just didn't like that. I thought it's unnecessary. Is that the ending could have been a lot better without that? And I don't understand why they did that. I really don't understand what they gained from doing that. Well, I didn't write it, you know what I mean? That was the way it was. So yeah, I enjoyed the whole game. The game was fantastic, absolutely fantastic from start to finish. The story was brilliant. I mean, the first season of Batman were brilliant, but the second season for me were everything. It was just brilliant, absolutely awesome. Kept me interested. Every time one of the episodes ended, it left it on a point where I really, really wanted to know what happened next. So yeah, just a really, really well-made game. Well-written story, well-written characters. And I didn't really have any major issues with it, you know, like crashes or all like that. I had a couple of crashes when I first set it up because I couldn't get it working. But that was more to do with the previous saves getting pulled over from season 1, which after a bit of Googling and messing about, I sorted out. But after that, it wasn't full of glitches or up like that. Just a really, really well-made game, which I've come to expect from Telltale now. So yeah, I was sad to see it finish, to be quite honest, because I could have carried on playing that. If any of them would have been justified having 8 episodes, it would have been that. Not, what were it? It was season 1 of Minecraft, I think, that had 8. So yeah, I would have much preferred season 2 of Batman to have 8 episodes, because I could have carried on playing that really good. But anyway, without further ado, let's crack on about the 10th game, which is what we're going to be playing now, which is Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale edition. So I'm a bit unsure about this game, because the whole thing with Guardians of the Galaxy sorry, not the whole thing, but a big thing about Guardians of the Galaxy is the music, the soundtrack. As you know, anybody that's watched Guardians of the Galaxy, the 80s music is a massive part of that game, or film, or franchise, or whatever. Because he listens to 80s music in the ship, he listens to 80s music when they're doing fight scenes and stuff like that. And that's all part of the film, it's all part of the experience. That's what adds comedy to the actual films. You know, if you think about it, some of the fight scenes, they'll have a certain song playing from 80s that's funny, but matches the fight scene, you know what I mean? So that is a big part of Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, there is another game, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, that came out last year, I think it was, but it's not to do with Telltale, it's a separate game, and it is absolutely amazing. It really is a brilliant game, and it looks unreal. It looks so real, it's brilliant. But the reason why I didn't stream that was because of the soundtrack. Again, because you get copyright strikes. It's all copyrighted music, is that? It's all proper music from the 80s. And I think on that other Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvel version, there is an alternative soundtrack for streamers, which is just unknown music, basically non-copyrighted music. And to me, that took away from the game, because, well, took away from the franchise as a whole, because like I said, the 80s music is such a big part of that franchise that taking it away and playing standard Universal music just didn't cut it for me, you know what I mean, with it being such a big part of it. So I'm not sure what it's like with this one. I don't know if there is an alternative soundtrack, or if it'll get copyright strikes for me posting it. I'm unsure, but because it's part of the Telltale Games Marathon, I'm not gonna not post it, do you know what I mean? So we'll have to just take it as it is. I'll post it and see how it goes. If it gets removed because of copyright strikes or whatever, you know why. You know, if it has got an alternative soundtrack, then I will put that alternative soundtrack on. I've got no choice, because that's the only way it'll stop it from getting copyright strikes, you know what I mean? But I don't know if the Telltale one has. But I have seen the Telltale one being streamed by a load of other people, you know what I mean? But that means nothing, because without going into the old conspiracy side of things, I've mentioned previously about issues I've been having with Facebook, where they're just basically copyright striking everything I do. Now, I don't know how much of that is what they do to everyone, but a lot of the games I were getting copyright strikes on, I've seen millions of other people streaming them without any issues at all. But when I do it, I get copyright strikes. So, as I've said a lot of the times through all my videos, Facebook do my head in. And I've spoke up about them so many times about how shit they are and how corrupt they are, to be quite honest. And that is why I think a lot of the shit that's happening is happening, because they don't like somebody who speaks up. They're like sheeple. They're like people who just keep quiet, keep the status quo, don't speak the truth, don't speak anything bad against Facebook. You know what I mean? Just stay quiet and do as you're told, play nicely, and then we won't do anything. And I get that impression, you know, because it's funny how everything I do, there's some issue or other, you know what I mean? And another thing I've noticed, like, where I'm saying to people, and that when I'm doing the videos on Facebook, and I'm saying, how come nobody's just taking that second out to put a like, or, you know, someone getting like over 500 views, but no one's just taking that time out to say thanks and liking it or whatever, out of 500 odd people. And I started thinking, nah, that can't be the case. I mean, I know my videos that great. I've never once said they are, do you know what I mean? But out of 500 odd people watching them, nobody would take that second out to say a like, to do a like. And I just started thinking, that's not even possible. It's just not possible, isn't that? At all. And then when you're a creator, basically, on your Facebook, you have something called, is it the Meta Studio? It's an extra thing to Facebook for creators, where you can go in and you can see all statistics on your videos and how many views and how long they watched them, the best liked ones and all that. It's just basically so you can optimize your videos and get and connect with your audience better and things like that. It's just a tool to have. And when I go into that on mine, I can see on some of my videos, it'll say that it's got so many likes or so many shares or whatever. But then when I go into Facebook and look at the exact same video, there's nothing. So, yeah, I don't know how much of it is true or what's going on, but some stinks. And like I said, I've said this all along, I've spoke my mind. I aren't going to not speak my mind, and I aren't going to stop saying something that concerns me, or if I see something that doesn't quite add up, I will fucking say it. I don't give a fuck whether they like it or not, do you know what I mean? I ain't here to kiss their ass, and I ain't here to blow smoke up your ass either, do you know what I mean? I'll say it as it is, and I'll always be straight with you, 100% always be straight. I am with everybody. You know, I can't do with liars myself, and I can't do with fake people, so I aren't going to start doing it myself just to fit in the whole Facebook world. So yeah, I don't know, like I said, I don't know how much of that's true and how much of it's going on, but I just find it hard to believe that in videos that are getting over 500 odd views and stuff, no one's actually taking the second out to say, yeah, it's all right, is that, thanks. You know, I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. And like I said, I'm not saying that as in my videos are ace and everybody should be liking them, because I know that's not the case. You know, I know there's a long way to go, and I know I've still got so much to learn, but you know, there's a line end of the day. And like I said, I've seen things that don't match up on the Creator Studio and on the Facebook. They don't match, so something's clearly going on somewhere. But anyway, again, that's to do with me and them. I don't really want to get you involved in all that. I just thought I wanted to make that clear. I don't know why I even got onto that now. I think it was because I was saying, basically, if they find a way to take Guardians of the Galaxy down, they will. Even though millions of other people have streamed it without issue, that doesn't mean I'm going to be able to, you know what I mean? So if it goes and it gets took down, you know why, because no one else had an issue. I mean, it'll probably be all right on YouTube, because YouTube are awesome. They don't piss you around like that, you know. Not me anyway. I've found that they haven't done that. So yeah, I think if it does get taken down off Facebook, you can always go over to the YouTube channel and watch it on there, where it's not run by complete assholes and tools who want people to all stay quiet and just play the game how they want you to play it. So yeah, anyway, so as I said, we're going to be playing Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm hoping to start it not tomorrow, the day after, I think, because I'll be putting this on tomorrow. I'm going to edit and all that tonight, and I'll put it on tomorrow. So the day after is when I'll start Guardians of the Galaxy, which will be Wednesday, I think. But you might not see it till Thursday. But we'll see anyway. So anyway, I think without further ado, we'll crack on with trailer, let you have a look at the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, and then we'll conclude this video and I'll get it all edited and done and put on for you to have a look. So without further ado, here is the trailer for the 10th game in the Telltale Games Marathon, Guardians of the Galaxy.
This is the Nova Corps. You have to help us. This is a priority 1 distress call, Star-Lord. Thanos is here!
Destroyer of worlds, big glowy gauntlet, wrinkly chin. Yeah, I've heard of him. Time to rock and roll. Well, this is the slowest elevator in the universe.
You cannot possibly know that. I am rude.
Good one, pal.
The Guardians of the Galaxy. Show me how you die.
So, there we go. That was Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series. So anyway, like I've told you before, I'm hopefully going to be doing it, not tomorrow, I might do it tomorrow, I don't know yet. I'll either aim for tomorrow or the day after. So, you should see it probably Wednesday, Thursday time. And we'll just take it from there every day then, like I have been doing. So yeah, I hope you guys are going to come and join us for that one, because it does look like it's a really good game. As to whether it'll still be on or whether I'll have to use an alternative soundtrack or whatever, we'll see as we go along. But as I've always told you, as a fallback, it will always be on the YouTube channel anyway, so you can always go over there and watch it. Right, so thanks for joining me guys anyway. Hopefully you've enjoyed the trailer and you're going to come and join us. So as always, if you want to say thanks for the effort that's going into doing these videos and support me in carrying on doing this and being able to get better at it and building up the channel, which will turn it into something good for all of us to enjoy together, you know what I mean? As always, it's easy to do that. If you can just click the like, it might not get put on, you know, but if you could just do that for me anyway and click like to say thank you. If you don't get put on when you've clicked it, then you know why, because tossers are not putting it on. But yeah, if you can do that, that would support us massively. It'd say thanks for doing the videos, and what it does is it supposedly lets the algorithm push the videos out to more people, which should help the channel. Also, if you can follow the Immersion Gaming Facebook page, as I've told you before, that firstly will allow me to start live streaming again if I get over 100 followers, but also if it will also build up the channel, just like anything else, liking or subscribing and stuff. But the biggest thing of all, as I keep telling you, if you want to support Immersion Gaming and really help me to make this channel into something special, is if you can take a second out your day to click the subscribe button on the Immersion Gaming YouTube channel, which is the centre of Immersion Gaming. That helps us out immensely. As I've told you before, it's completely free, it don't cost you a penny. All it does is, when you subscribe to our channel, when you first go on YouTube and you first open YouTube up and it shows you all them videos that you can select from, if you're subscribed to my channel, any new videos that I've uploaded, like this one, when I do it, when you open up YouTube, it'll be on that feed of new videos for you to watch. That's all that happens when you subscribe to a channel. It just makes my videos, any new videos that I've uploaded, will be on your feed when you open it up. That's all that happens. So to you, it's a second of clicking a button. To me, it's huge, because that's what's needed to build Immersion Gaming up. So yeah, if you can do that guys, I would very much appreciate it. And believe me, like I've told you in the past, you won't regret it. But not only will you have a decent channel to watch, and you'll know that you helped somebody make something, you know, from scratch, but as I've told you before, once I get in a position to be able to do so, I'm going to start giving something back to you guys, you know, just to say thank you for supporting and being part of the Immersion Gaming community. So other than that guys, thanks for joining. I hope you've enjoyed the trailer, and I hope you'll come and join us for the game. So until then, take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye.